Hello and welcome to another video of this Solidity do-it-yourself tutorials. In the last video, we looked at different variables and data types. In this video, we're going to talk about functions. What are functions and how do they work? I'm going to create a function that can change the value of the bank balance. That means when the transactions are coming in, it can change the value of the bank balance. So let's see. The way to write a function would be function new balance is the name of the function. Look at some standards that I'm following in my code. For variables, I am doing the first letters of the word as caps and all other small caps. Overdraft flag, ODF are caps. Account name, A caps, N caps. Number of transactions, NOF, OT cap. But for functions, I am doing the first letter as small, and of course all the other letters small as well, but the second word first letter as caps, just to differentiate. But is this the only differentiation that I have? Is there any other way that can help me differentiate between a variable and a function? Let us see. So this is one of the way that I'm trying to differentiate in the code, wherein I'm writing a function new balance. It expects an input in round brackets, u in 256, again a variable, and underscore amount is a variable that is only be used in this function. Now I'm going to say bank balance equals to amount. I'm not doing anything. All I'm saying is that whatever the amount comes in, that will be my new bank balance. Simple. I'm not doing any calculations here, and then I'm going to close the curly braces here. So this is my function new balance. I'm going to follow the same method of first compiling the code and then creating a new deployment. I'm going to deploy again on Remix VM London. And oops, there are two contracts. Let me redeploy it one more time. So I have now one contract deployed. You see the new balance, which is a function, is now in an orange color button. That shows this is a function. Now let's look at the bank balance. Now just to make it a little easier, I'm going to remove the public keyword from my code, but I'm going to just keep the public keyword for bank balance. Now you can access this code from a GitHub link, which is in the link below, as well as the Google Drive link. So I can provide you the code with the keyword public, but just to make it a little easier for our sessions, I'm going to remove all the public keywords from my code. So I'm going to redeploy this. So compile it one more time, go back in here and deploy it. And what you see now is just the new balance and bank balance. So new balance is a function and bank balance is just a balance. I'm going to click on it. It says 50 and my new value should be 100. I click on new balance, but it does not show me what is the bank balance yet. Please understand, the bank balance has changed, but it's not reflected here yet because I have not clicked this button. I can click this button here, it says 100. So this is the functionality of the smart contract. Let's look at on the right side what is happening. This is when I deployed the contract, but then I created call. So let me again say 150 and I'm making the changes again. So whenever I am trying to update the bank balance, that means you are changing something on the blockchain. When you change something on the blockchain, you would see this tick mark. and at the end of that transaction, you are paying a cost of gas 26624 weigh. In our previous videos, we have discussed weigh, which is the unit, and you can refer that. So you have the gas cost for a transaction that modifies the state of the blockchain. In this case, bank balance, which was 50, is now being modified to the new value 150. But when I clicked on this bank balance to retrieve, just read the value, you would see that there is no checkbox like this. It says call. The reason it does that is because to read without changing the state of the blockchain is free. There is no gas cost. And therefore, you would see that there is no gas cost written here. See, it says execution cost 23471. Cost only applies when called by a contract. So when you read from the chain, there is no gas fee associated with it. So cost only applies when called by a contract. In the next set of videos, I'm going to create more functions wherein I'll show you a retrieve function to just read from the blockchain. And in that, you would see there is a zero cost associated with reading from the blockchain. Now, you saw this again, new balance. I'm going to make it now 200. New balance is now 200. And you would see that the gas fees that I paid was 2664. Now, let me make a few more changes to this function. That means it does a little bit of more compute. At this point in time, all it is doing is just updating whatever the new balance is. So I'm going to add a little bit more functionality to it. I am going to say that whatever is the amount which is input, in this case 200, subtracted by 1, which is going to be 199, and then add it back to the bank balance. So this statement says that get the amount and subtract it by 1 and then add it to the bank balance. In the previous function, it was just updating the balance, whatever it was. So I'm going to redeploy the contract. So compile, go back in here, deploy, and you see this, the contract is deployed, and look at it. Now, when I say, if you remember the last time was 2664, now I'm doing new balance. Let's check balance, it's 50 because I deleted the previous contract, deployed a new one with an initial value 50, and then I am just gonna put 10. So I'm gonna call this new balance 10, and I'm going to first statement make it 10 minus 1, which is 9, and adding it to the bank balance. So 50 plus 9 is going to be 59. Look at that. Now let's look at this transaction. Remember the last time we paid 2664. This time is 27,014. The reason we are paying higher gas fees is because you have much more calculation on it, on your function. The gas fees is directly proportional to the number of steps, the number of computations that you do on the blockchain. Again, thank you for watching. In the next set of videos, we're going to talk about different kinds of functions and their applicability. I really appreciate you watching the series. Keep watching. Thank you.